This is a voiceover video. If you feel uncomfortable, then you can mute it. It's a boring fan fiction if you're homophobic kindly mute. The names, characters, events, and incidents portrayed in this story, even those are based on real people, are all fictional. Don't take it serious. And if I do any mistake in voiceover, then please forgive me. As Jungkook stepped inside, he heard a stern voice. He ignored it and walked towards his chair and seated there. He ignored his words and said, "How are you young? When did you come? Are you ignoring what I asked?" "I'm not Jin Young. You just came and instead of hugging me, you are asking questions. You little brat. I'm your elder brother, John Seokjin, the worldwide handsome, and you're ignoring me?" "Jin Young, I'm really feeling sad. I have so much work to do. Please don't start your unbearable rap now. You brat, don't you have shame? You want to get beaten up with my pink frying pan? Now, just tell me why you made that deal with anti-entertainment. What is the need, and why did the chairman could agree to it? What do you mean by why? Omabu wants this deal, and why are you reacting like this? You never cared about any deal or collaboration, then why now? Do you have any problem featuring with Kim Lee? Anya, I don't have any problem with him, but what? But you should have asked me once before doing it. You've never interfered in any business deal before, Young. Then why now? Just don't, Young. You came after 3 months and just asking about these things. I was expecting a hug from you. I missed you so much, and their Vine Nuna is also missing you badly. You didn't even meet her. She's pregnant. I know my princess is pregnant. And do you think I didn't miss you? I'll meet her today. Thank God. Well, don't worry about the collaboration. Mr. Kim is really a nice person. Time skipped after 2 days. As per the schedule, today is going to be the day of the meeting when two biggest modeling companies are going to share their plans with each other about featuring their models together. The meeting has been arranged in Entity Entertainment Meeting Hall. And everything is arranged. Just a few people of both companies will attend this meeting. Namjoon and Taeyong are sitting in the meeting hall with two other guys standing beside them. Then the door got opened, revealing a handsome man with a muscular body and a super handsome yet charming man who can make anyone fall for his charm and beauty. Both entered there with two guys behind them. Namjoon and Taeyong both stood up and bowed a little. "Good morning, Mr. Kim." "Good morning, Mr. John. Please be seated." "Thank you, Mr. Kim. Let me introduce to our supermodel Jin, but he is also my elder brother, John Seokjin. Taeyong in mind. They are siblings?" Jin and Namjoon then looked at each other and hesitatingly raised their hands to show. "Nice to meet you, Mr. John." Jin didn't say anything. He was just blankly looking at Namjoon and then said, "I know I'm handsome, Mr. Kim, but you should give rest to your eyes now," he said when Namjoon took his hand immediately away and looked away with a nervous yet awkward smile. If you don't mind, Mr. John, we should start the meeting." "Oh, yes, Mr. Kim. Well, he is my secretary, Mr. Song Ji-kyung, and he is Ok Jun-so, my elder brother's manager." They shook their hands when Namjoon said, "Meet our supermodel Kim Lee, who is also my younger brother, Kim Taeyong," he said while introducing him with others. Taeyong and Jin both shook their hands. Then Namjoon introduced his secretary and Taeyong's manager to them. After introduction, they all sat around the table and then meeting started. First, Jeon explained their point of view and now Namjoon's secretary is explaining. Jungkook is listening carefully. Then his eyes fell on Taeyong, who is also focused on the screen. But what about Namjoon? Jungkook's point of view. I was listening to Mr. Joe's explanation when my eyes fell on Taeyong. He is sitting right in front of me and all focused on screen. I don't know if he is really listening anything or not, but he is looking so excellent. Beautiful creation of God. His diamond-like eyes, pink softly. Fully shaped jawline, cute nose which is highlighting his beauty more, and a perfect body. I don't know what I'm thinking, but I'm truly getting attracted towards him. Like a magnet. I gulped when he licked his lips with his tongue and bit his lower lip a little. Immediately looked away because I'm feeling so weird all of a sudden. I do not think anything which can create any problem. I looked away when my eyes fell on Jin Yong, who is sitting beside me. I'm feeling like he isn't feeling well. He seems a little distracted and disturbed. If I'm not wrong, then is it because of Mr. Kim? I can guess that there is something weird in between them. The way they were looking at each other. No, Jin, he was distracted the day he came to know about this deal. He never cared about any deal or any person, but I'm feeling like he is surely thinking something. I was in my deep thoughts when I got interrupted by Mr. Kim's voice. I get it's all fine, Mr. John. Oh, yes, Mr. Kim. We can work on these both ideas. If there will be any need to change, then we'll change it. Yes, Mr. Kim, you're right. Then we are done now, right? Yes, Mr. Kim. I think we should work on it for now. Then we should also make an agreement with both the models concerned. Right, then we'll give them some alone time to get together and talk about it. They should get along. His words got cut off when his phone started ringing. He looked at it and said, excuse me everyone, it's really urgent. He said and bowed towards everyone and left out the house. Then Jin said out of nowhere, I need to use washroom. He said, then Namjoon's secretary asked him, let me show you the way, Mr. John. He said, then Jin nodded and also asked his manager to go with him. They left from there. Now Jungkook, Taeyong and their secretary and manager are left in the room. They both started talking and now only Taeyong and Jungkook are sitting there silently. Then Jungkook said out of nowhere loud enough to hear Taeyong, I'm sure there's something between Jin Young and Mr. Kim. He said without knowing that Taeyong heard him. Mr. John, are you talking to aliens? No, I was just talking to myself. Why are you giving a hard time to your little bunny brain? Are you pissed off because I'm smarter than you? You're just stupid to think things like that. There's nothing in between my young and your young, and never can be. They must be enemies of course. I can guess the way they were looking at each other. Why do you always think about hateness, fights and all? Cannot you think about love and bickering? Taeyong scoffed on Jungkook's words and said, Love? Do you really believe there is anything like love exists? Are you fantasizing the things? Oh, you believe there is nothing like love? It's useless to think about the thing, but doesn't even exist. And why will I be talking to you? He said annoyingly, while rolling his eyes and pulled out his phone from his pocket and started using it. Time skipped after a day. Yoongi came out of the meeting hall after a meeting with some phone clients. Yojin also left in his cabin, and Yoongi was going towards his cabin when he saw Jimin. He was talking with someone on a call. Unknowingly, Yoongi pushed his chair towards his direction. He stopped it afar when he saw Jimin was laughing. He could hear him clearly now. He was admiring his laughing steed, but felt sad because the reason behind his happiness is not him. He doesn't know why he wants a bond like this in between them, where they can laugh, smile, and do everything together comfortably. No one ever could do this magic on him the way Jimin is doing without even doing any effort. Or maybe he is doing everything so genuinely that Yoongi is unable to deny it. The thing he is doing, no one ever did. Where everyone tried to impress him, but no one could leave an impression like Jimin did. Yoongi point of view.
Whom he's talking to? Is it that guy whom I saw with him that night in the bar? I'm trying my best not to interfere in his personal life, but he is distracting me. I can hear he is talking about some agreement. What kind of agreement he is talking about? I focused on his conversation, but I'm cursing myself for doing this, because without him knowing, I'm interfering in his personal life.
It's not a big deal, Priya. Why are you reacting like this?
Did he just call Beer?
Jungkook is a nice guy. I know him very well. You should just focus on your work, okay? But what? It's just a collaboration, guy. And that too for 6 months. Moreover, you'll work with John Sokjin, not John Jungkook. And he's actually not a bad guy. Did he ever behave rudely? No, right? Then what? You're acting like a child.
I was right. He's talking to him.
Listen, if you ever feel low, just come to me. I know how to calm you. And I'm always here for you, my baby. Just don't think too much, okay?
He called him baby, but it may be that they are friends. But who call his friend baby? Am I thinking too much? This is driving me crazy. I should haven't listened to this conversation.
On the other side, time point of view. I'm feeling a little relaxed now after talking to Jimmy. He's actually right. I'll work with John Sokjin, not Jungkook. Then why I'm so disturbed? Why his eyes making me go out of my mind? I'm literally thinking about him. The day I met him in Jimin's clinic room, why his thoughts aren't leaving my mind. Rather than thinking about him, I should focus on my work. After all, he is John's son. I cannot think about him. Well, it's almost time for me to leave. I need to go to meet John Sokjin, as today we'll have to decide about agreement. Then Taeyong left from his house with his bodyguard to the place where he is going to meet Jin. He reached there and saw the restaurant is quiet, selective, and peaceful. He walked towards Jin with his bodyguard. As Jin saw him, he stood up and they both bowed towards each other. Hello, Mr. Kim. Come, have a seat. Taeyong smiled and sat in front of him. Thank you, Mr. John, and please just call me by my name. You're older than me. Jin smiled sweetly, hearing Taeyong and said, Then you should call me Young instead of calling me by my surname. Really? Are you sure? Of course, you are like a younger brother to me, like my Cookie. Cookie? I mean Jungkook. We call him Cookie and sometimes Bunny. Really? I mean, when I first time met him personally, we had a fight and I literally called him Bunny. They both laughed and talked about some random things first. They both felt so comfortable with each other, especially Taeyong, because it takes him time to open up with strangers or new people, but Jin's kind and loving behavior made him comfortable easily. Like this, some more days passed. Jin and Taeyong both started working on their first project together. According to the agreement, it's for 6 months and they will do 3 projects together. Now they started working on their first project. Everything is going well, but Taeyong always avoids Jungkook and his presence, which is somehow hurting Jungkook, but he is denying it. And about Namjoon, they are in an awkward situation. Jin always shut his mouth saying something, which makes Namjoon silent in front of him. Jin is always sweet with others, but with Namjoon, he behaves all different, like he's showing his anger or frustration, but no one knows what is it. Namjoon becomes so silent in front of him and tries to avoid talking to him. Jungkook always tries to know what kind of relation they are sharing because he knows his brother more than anyone. The way he behaves with Namjoon is making him suspect that there is really something in between them, or maybe something happened in the past. Who knows what's happening between them? And about Yoongi, they don't even know they are coming more closer by time without them realizing. Though they both think that their relation is still like a doctor and a patient, but their hearts know that it's not the same at all. They both found peace and happiness with each other. Yoongi found a tiny reason to smile and Jimin found his happiness in Yoongi. They both feel peace and comfortable in each other without them noticing. Their feelings for each other grew more, or just they are denying to accept the fact that slowly and eventually they have started falling for each other. Here, an argument is going on in the dressing room. Can guess who is the person? Well, it's a worldwide handsome boy, Jin, who is arguing with the makeup artist because they totally changed the theme of his makeup. It's not even matching with his clothes. Taeyong is sitting in a corner done with him, wearing his headphones. But somewhere he's controlling his laugh because of Jin's non-stop big rap. He is enjoying the view and secretly making a video of him so that he can use that later to tease him. Then everyone stopped when Namjoon entered there with his strong personality. What's going on here? Sir, please tell Mr. John to calm down. I did his makeup, but he is arguing to do it again. What's wrong with the makeup, Mr. John? Mr. Kim, cannot you see what he did with my handsome face? He literally changed the whole makeup. I don't want to look like a pig. You look always beautiful. I mean, it's looking beautiful on you. I know that, but I'm here talking about things. And why don't anyone listen to me, huh? I'm older than you. Don't you know it? Did you forget? He said while looking straight in Namjoon's eyes, like he is taunting him. Namjoon looked away and said to makeup artist, "Please do as you want," he said and left from there. Now Jin is sitting with his manager in a room after the shoot. He is using his phone while resting on the couch. Then Namjoon entered inside and Jin's manager bowed towards him. But Jin was unbothered by it, still using his phone. "Mr. John, I want to talk to you something personal." "Say what is it? He's my manager, not any stranger." "I said I want to talk something personal to you." He strictly said in his deep voice. Then Jin finally looked at him and saw his serious face. He signaled his manager to go outside. His manager went outside while closing the door properly. "Say now, can you please behave?" "Don't tell me how should I behave, Mr. Kim. I'm older than you. You don't need to remind me. I already know that. I don't need to remind you anything. But please just behave like a mother. Don't create any scene." "Am I creating any scene? I can do whatever I want. You're no one to tell me. Moreover, I'm older than you. Stop mentioning the same thing again and again." "How? You're curious. You yourself said that. You're older than me. Didn't you? Is this a reason to reject someone's love? Why don't you forget that thing?" "So you did, huh? You forgot you were best friends. Tell me honestly, Namjoon. Did you really mean that? Tell me that you never had any feelings for me?" He questioned when Namjoon just looked away. "No, I always saw you just as a friend." "Really? Then say it while looking in my eyes." "I just answered your question. Please don't make any sense." He said and was about to turn when Jin held his hand tightly, making him stop. "I know you always had feelings for me and still you have. That wasn't any reason to reject me because I'm older than you. Please leave my hand, Jin. I wish I could forget you. Then better do that." Hearing this, Jin's grip on Namjoon's hand loosened, and his eyes started tearing up, which were holding it back for a long time. He felt like his heart is scattering into pieces. He finally left Namjoon's hand and he left from there without looking back. Jin's point of view. "Why you are hurting me still now? I cannot forget you even for once. Even if I say I want to. 7 years, Namjoon. These 7 years I've spent heartbroken and still I am. Only because of you. I couldn't forget anything. A precious time which we spent together, a friendship, a bickerings, fights, and the love we had for each other. I still don't know. Why did you reject me? Why? Am I not worthy? Why didn't you give me any reason? And still you left without giving me any reason. Why? I wanted to hug you. I wanted to hide myself in your embrace, Namjoon. Why are you pushing me away like you did before? Don't even know what did I wrong that day." Flashback. Jin point of view. "Gosh, I got late today. I will scold me for shock for being late. But it's not like I wanted to be late. First, Amma sent me to her friend's house just for giving that stupid invitation card. And then I went to a shop to bring a necklace for Namjoon. Actually, it's a couple necklace. I'm feeling so nervous. Should I just confess or keep it in my heart? I know he also has feelings for me because so many times I caught him zooming out while looking at me. It makes me blush to think about him. I want him to treat me like a lover. I actually want to see his romantic side. I know I should not feel like this about him, but I cannot control my imaginations around him. I reached at the door of his house and rang the bell, but got no response, so I just opened the door as I have a key. I I locked the door from inside when I heard a sound like someone is sleeping. Then I saw Namjoon, who is sitting beside the couch on the floor while crying. I couldn't control myself and ran towards him, hugged him tightly while patting his back. What happened, Julie? Why are you crying? I asked worriedly because I never saw him like this before in these 3 years. But he didn't reply and lightly pushed me away from him. He wiped his tears. Can you please leave? We can do the work in college. At least tell me what happened. Why did you cry? I said, leave, Jane. I won't until you tell me what happened. Didn't you hear what I said? He shouted, then I stood up immediately. I felt so sad because Namjoon never shouted on me. Yes, we had a lot of fights with each other, but we never behaved rude towards each other. Though I wanted to ask him, but I left from there thinking he must take some time. Maybe I should talk to him later. And after that day, Namjoon started ignoring me. He even denied to let me go with him to his house. He slowly started distancing himself from me. I was feeling like he was doing it on purpose. He used to talk to other classmates normally, but not with me. I was feeling so upset because of his behavior. He even changed his seat with another guy, saying he doesn't feel comfortable there. And for the last 2 years, he was sitting there with me daily. I was so upset yet frustrated. And 1 month passed like this. Now I couldn't bear it. Frustration took over me and it was already enough. He is ignoring me like I don't even exist. So I decided to talk to him. And after the college hours ended, he came out of the class when I dragged him inside the empty room and locked the door from inside. What are you doing, Jane? Open the door, I need to go. First tell me why you're ignoring me, huh? I'm not ignoring you. The exams are near and I need to focus on my studies. I guess we used to study together for every exam, right? Don't have any answer, right? Now tell me why are you doing it? Even everyone can say that you are doing it on purpose. Yes, I am because I want to top the university and I don't want any kind of distraction. So am I a distraction? You always top the college every semester. All those semesters I was there with you like glue, but you never distracted. Then why now? He didn't utter anything. I sighed and held his hands in mine and looked deeply in his eyes. I stepped towards him more, but he stepped a little back and looked away. I didn't miss any second and hugged him tightly. Please don't ignore me like this. I cannot take it anymore. I love you, Namjoon. I really do. Not just as a friend, but as a lover. I said, still hugging him, when he just froze on the place without saying anything. But after a few seconds, he held my shoulders and parted away. But I don't love you in that way, Jane. What? Why? I always saw you just as a friend, nothing more. Moreover, you are older than me. What? I cannot love you like a man. Now, leave my way. And please don't disturb me anymore. He said and left, not even looking back at me. Flashback end. And after that day, he didn't even look at me. I couldn't understand what happened to him all of a sudden. When my parents asked me to go abroad and study so that I could pursue my dreams. And after all those years, we again met. But he is still pushing me away. And I'm still loving him, not even able to move on. I smile, laugh, because there's no use of showing my weak side to the world. On the other side, Namjoon stepped inside his room and sat on his chair. He sighed deeply, then some tears left his eyes, touching his cheeks, making him realize that he is crying. He threw his head backwards on the chair and closed his eyes, making all the left tears fall down through his eyes. Namjoon pointed. You're right, sir. That's not the reason actually. That can never be. How can I reject the person I love the most just because of age difference? I can never. Believe me, Jane, I really love you. I really do. But the thing is, I cannot tell you. Or no can tell you the reason. Just I want you to be happy always. I can never forget the time we spent together. That was so precious. You made me feel loved. You made me feel worthy. You taught me how to be myself. Took care of me. You gave me your warmth when I needed the most. You did everything. I again wanted to hold your hands tightly. I again wanted to see you looking at me fondly. I again wanted to embrace you into my arms. I again wanted to feel that feeling. Those butterflies in my stomach whenever you used to kiss me on my cheeks and run away. But all I have is this pain inside me, which I'm holding for years. I know you two are suffering, but maybe after some time you'll move on and live your life with someone who will be worthy for you. Other side, Mr. Min, are you ready?
Maybe it won't hurt, right?
Jimin chuckled while setting the needles in Yunki's body. So guys, they are going to apply electrical stimulation for spinal cord injury on Yunki. And he is hella nervous because he is first time doing it. Looked at Jimin who is busy doing his work. Jimin then looked at Yunki and smiled to give him strength. It will not, Mr. Min. I guess not that much.
I just don't want to lose another organ.
Don't you trust me, Mr. Min? I've applied this therapy on a lot of patients before. You're not the first.
Are you sure, Mr. Park?
He said, still laying on the bed. Jimin smiled and held Yungi's hand in his and caressed his hand softly. Believe me, Mr. Min, I'll never let you get into any trouble. I'll always hold your hand and pull you out. He said lovingly, looking in Yungi's eyes. Then Yungi felt like pull him in his embrace and shower him with his love. But as always, he controlled his feelings. Jimin looked away, feeling Yungi's eyes on him. He felt he said it in a flow, and like always, he couldn't control his mouth, which always uttered his feelings to Yungi. Like always, he scolded himself for letting his heart win over his mind. Then Jimin started applying the therapy on him, because this therapy is very useful and effective to regain the ability to walk. That's why they decided to use it, but only once in a week. Like this, one more month passed like it's just one day. Because of daily therapy sessions, Yungi feels tired, but at the same time, he feels improvement in his condition. His both foot started moving. Seeing him improving, Jimin was the most happy. He started taking care of him more seriously. Yungi sometimes feels like Jimin is too much serious, but he feels good because he is the one who is taking care of him like a mother does. No matter how hard they try, but they started falling for each other more, and they realized that they have feelings for each other. But some insecurities are still stopping them to show and accept it. Yungi is insecure because of his state, and somewhere he thinks that he is not worthy for Jimin. He feels that Jimin generally does everything, but still he has a fear in his heart. What if Jimin doesn't feel the same for him? And what if he is already like someone else? Moreover, Jimin's beauty is another reason of his insecurity. He thinks that can a beautiful guy like Jimin love him? He is handicapped and Jimin is beautiful, charming, and deserves everything. Will he ever able to give him everything he deserves? These insecurities makes Yungi sad. And on the other side, Jimin has his own security in his mind. He thinks that Yungi is a billionaire and he is just a doctor, though he is a neurologist and has his own identity in his field, but still, these things make him insecure. He doesn't care if Yungi can walk or not. He knows he can take care of him and himself very well. Moreover, Yungi's deep eyes have a great effect on him. His husky voice, deep ocean-like eyes, cold personality and his cat-like sexy face become his weakness. And can a handsome billionaire guy like Yungi ever think of loving him, that too with his doctor? On the other side, Hyejin did their first project together really well. Just in some days, they're going to publish it. Jin didn't talk to Namjoon after that. His heart deep down but didn't show it on his face. Same goes to Namjoon. He is also avoiding Jin as much as he can because he thinks if he'll talk to him, it can create any other problem. And about Taiko, don't know what's happening in between them. A different type of tension is working. Jungkook sometimes tries to talk to him, but Taeyeon ignores him like he saw any ghost. Jungkook sometimes feels so frustrated because Taeyeon always avoids him. He doesn't even know what he did to make Taeyeon ignore him. But deep down, he knows that there must be some reason behind Taeyeon's ignorance. And Taeyeon, he himself doesn't know why he got panic every time he sees Jungkook. He feels like his heart will explode any time. That's why he always tries to avoid him. And whenever he talks with him, he ends up messing up or can say fighting with him. Jungkook came out of Namjoon's office room after talking about something important. When his phone started ringing, he took out his phone from his pocket and saw it's his secretary. He picked that up. Yes, Mr. Zhang. Mr. John, some clients are waiting for you in your office. Who? They came from a production company who wants us to make an ad for their product. Which production? Let Leaf Production. Okay, I'm coming. Just tell them to wait for some time. Okay, Mr. John. Jungkook then cut the call and was about to put his phone back in his pocket, but bumped with someone and his shirt got back due to the coffee in that guy's hand. The guy bowed towards him multiple times while saying sorry. I'm really sorry, Mr. John. I didn't saw you coming. I'm really sorry. It's okay. Don't panic, please. Your shirt is all soft, Mr. John. It's fine. Let me arrange a shirt for you, Mr. John. Okay. Please wait for some seconds. He ran and within just some seconds came running with the shirt in his hand. Here, Mr. John, it's a new branded shirt. You can change it. Oh, yes, but where should I change? Oh, I didn't think about it. Well, you can change in that room. It's actually Mr. Kim's changing room, but as he is not here, so you can change there. He said while pointing towards the room. Jungkook looked at the room and followed that guy. He opened the room for Jungkook when he thanked him. Thank you. Don't thank me, Mr. John. Please change your shirt. He said and left from there. Then Jungkook went inside the room. He looked around only to see Taeyeon's photos and branded clothes everywhere. But a photo caught his attention, and unknowingly he walked towards that and picked up the photo frame. That photo was a small frame of 4 to 6 photos. It was all different from the other photos in the room. All the other photos were showing Kim Lee. That photo frame was showing Kim Taeyeon. In all the other photos, he was just showing his moral face with seriousness and coldness. But in that photo frame, he was smiling, showing his boxy smile. Maybe those were some random photos in which Taeyeon was laughing and playing with a doll. He was looking so cute in those baggy clothes with a boxy smile. Jungkook didn't realize but he was smiling while looking at that photo frame. He kissed that photo with his finger and again put that down. Then he remembered that he was getting late. He then put that shirt on the table and put off his shirt with the photo. Just then the door opened and Jungkook turned around only to see a shocked Taeyeon who just froze on his feet looking at him. Taeyeon looked at Jungkook's upper body with his visible hands and muscles. He could clearly see Jungkook's tattoos on his hands, which are always hidden because of his full sleeve chest. His cheeks turned red. Jungkook didn't move an inch, noticing Taeyeon's gaze on his muscular body. Taeyeon then shouted all of a sudden, making Jungkook flinch. What the hell are you doing in my room, Hapni? Who the hell gave you permission to come in? Can you please calm down? I didn't come here on purpose, but coffee was splattered on my shirt, and I just came to change. Don't overreact. Am I overreacting? Cannot you please shut your mouth? Why do you always shout on me, ma? Just tell me now clearly, Kim Taeyeon. What's your problem with me? He said with an anger and frustration in his voice. Then Taeyeon just looked at him, not finding any answer. You should wear something. I'm leaving. He said and turned to leave, but Jungkook was fast enough to catch him. He immediately closed the door and pinned Taeyeon on the door. the shirt, which was on the table. He said while wearing the shirt again, having Thyon's attention, who was still paused on his face. You think by hiding your smile and putting on this cold face mask you can escape from your feelings? Then you're wrong. It will hurt you only. He wore his shirt and faced Thyon, who was looking at him with his glossy eyes. Jacob then walked towards the door and looked at Thyon again and said before leaving, try to be yourself, not the one who other wants you to be. You are sacrificing your smile for nothing. He opened the door and left from there, leaving Thyon, whose eyes left the tears falling. He fell on his knees against the wall. He started shedding tears non-stop while burying his face in his hand. He didn't know his ignorance cannot judge his pain. He was just trying to avoid his own feelings that were growing around him. But he unknowingly had hurt him. Yes, he knew it's not actually him, but he became cautious. He's actually someone else whom he hides from everything. But he's actually insecure about his real ways. This is what randomly happened to him, but had happened before. Then Jimin and Mindy sat beside the car going towards his office after a therapy session. They were actually interested in some therapy that only the taken in paper and down, like an experienced person. The car is on the way back to Mindy's office when Jimin remembered something and said, Mr. Min, actually, I need to go in the grocery store urgently. There's a store on the way. If you don't mind, please drop me there. I'll come back after some time.
It's okay. I'll go with you.
Anil, you are already exhausted because of the therapy session. I can do shopping alone.
I also want to buy something.
Oh, then okay. Then Uncle Joy stopped the car in front of a grocery store. Jimin came out of the car along with Joy. Uncle Joy then left to park the car aside. Jimin pushed Yoongi's wheelchair inside the store, only to be greeted by a young lady on the counter. Mr. Min, you please stay here. I'll bring everything. Yoongi hummed and Jimin left to bring the things. He was now selecting the thing and almost done. He took the rest of the things and was about to put in the car. Then heard some noise. The store is almost empty and he could hear it clearly. It was Yoongi's voice. He instantly put the rest of the things in the car, which were in his hands. Then he pushed the car towards counter. He stopped at a part when he saw three men were standing there with guns in their hands and black marks on their faces, indicating that they are thieves. He guessed the situation and shouted, How dare you, huh? Jimin then walked towards them while pushing the car ahead and stood in front of them. The thieves pointed their guns towards Yoongi when he looked at them. Yoongi pointed.
Jimin left from here with a car to shop. I was left alone here, so I thought of exploring the place. I just pushed my wheelchair towards the bookshelf near the counter and pulled out a book. I started reading it. After a few minutes, I heard someone came inside the store. I turned my chair around when I heard they were asking money from the lady on the counter. I couldn't control myself and pushed my wheelchair towards them. What the hell are you doing? Leave from here, otherwise you'll regret it. As I said, they looked at me and one of them pointed his gun on me.
What did you say? Regret.
They laughed when I felt my blood boil, but more than that, I was feeling helpless because I cannot stand on my feet.
See, who is talking about Rangan? Who is on the wheelchair? I pity on you because you cannot do anything even if you want. Listen, mister, don't interfere in our business. Otherwise, you will be the one who will regret. Got it?
Do you know whom are you talking to?
Yes, a person who cannot even walk. What do you think you can do to us with your worthless body? Better shut your mouth.
Before he could say further, we all heard a voice.
How dare you, huh?
I looked at the direction and saw Jimin, who came there and stood in front of those thieves, and they pointed their guns toward him. I was so shocked and worried about him. What the hell is he doing? I got more shocked when he said,
How dare you calling my husband a worthless person, huh? How can you even say?
I was so shocked hearing his words. Did he just call me his husband?
You boy, don't waste your time. Otherwise, I'll not waste even a second to shut your eyes for forever. Am I wasting your time? You just called my handsome, sexy husband worthless and want me to leave you. Seems like you want me to. Let me show you then.
That thief came towards Simon and was about to point his gun on his head. But, in just a friction, Jimin snatched that gun from his hand and pointed the gun back on that thief's head, making them all scarred. And I was more shocked to see this side of me.
Do you think you can scare me with this toy? Drop that gun, boy. Otherwise what? Do you think I don't know how to use it?
Jimin reloaded the gun and put his index finger on the trigger when the other two thieves looked at each other. Within an instant, he punched on that thief's nose, making him to crouch down on the floor, and then he kicked those thieves' hands, one after one in just a second, making their guns fall on the ground. Then he kicked on a thief's stomach and punched other thieves. One thief tried to hit him, but I immediately took the book in my hand, which was on my lap, and threw on that thief's face. Jimmy looked at me and again punched that thief on the face and then stomach. I was just wondering how can he knock them off without even any fear, and that too when they had guns in their hands. All the three thieves were laying on the ground when we heard a siren from outside. And some policemen came inside running with their guns and looked at us and on the ground. They immediately handcuffed those thieves, and one of them came towards us. I know him. He is Detective Kim, one of my father's friends.
Are you two fine? Did they hurt you somewhere?
He looked at Jimin, then me, and again said,
Isn't it you, Mr. Min?
Yes, Detective Kim.
Are you okay? Did you call me?
Anio.
I called you, sir. Those thieves wanted to rob the store and money. Did you fight with them? Yes, I snatched his gun from one hand but didn't use it.
Jimin said and handed over the gun to Detective Kim.
Thank you so much for informing us. Are you with Mr. Min? Yes, sir. I'm Mr. Min's personal doctor, Park Suman, a neurologist. Oh, I see.
I hope you won't disturb us regarding this matter, Detective Kim.
We won't, Mr. Min. You can check this CCTV footage for assurance, sir. We will. Thank you so much for making these scans. Have a nice day.
He said and left from there. Then Jimin looked at me and asked,
They didn't hurt you, right?
I'm fine, but why you did that? What if they would have done something to you?
But they didn't, right? I just wanted to hand them in cops' hands. That's why I did that. I already called the cops when I saw them here. But to stop them here, I needed to do something. So I just said what came in my mind.
He said while checking the things in the car, like nothing happened. We both looked at the counter. Then finally the lady spoke.
Thank you so much, mister. You saved my life and money. It's okay now.
Smiled at her when she smiled back. Then we paid the bill and left towards office. But I couldn't forget what he called me at that time. Husband. I know he didn't mean that, but I don't know why I'm imagining him.
Seriously, he'd knocked them off. Oh my goodness, Indy. I missed that chance.
Oh Bia, stop reacting like this.
I didn't know he can do such things. I'm really impressed. You are already married. Did you forget? What about marriage, Indy? I'm just saying I'm impressed by his skills. Why are you so jealous? Why would I be jealous? He called me his husband. He said in a low but cracked gesture when Hobie looked at him with his teasing eyes. Husband. Oh my god, Jungiya.
Stop it.
I'm sure you're enjoying his company, right?
He just said that in a flow just to handle the situation. Don't make it so obvious.
Yungi said while looking in his file because his cheeks were turning red due to shyness. So, are you serious about it?
Anya.
You are already blushing.
Ajima.
Hobie laughed hard, seeing his best friend blushing like a man. Someone finally has this much effect on my best friend to make him blush.
Can you stop?
Tell me one thing, Yungi. You have feelings for me, right?
Stop, please.
Hobie smiled widely and said, Okay. Now I'm going home. I need to take Ryan to hospital.
Is she okay?
She is, Pavo. It's her monthly checkup.
Okay.
Then I'm leaving. Take care.
Hmm.
Hobie then left towards his house to pick up Ryan for a checkup. He reached there and entered inside his house. Then he heard Ryan was laughing and talking to someone. Is she talking on phone? He whispered to himself and walked towards couch. Then saw Ryan was sitting on the couch with two other persons in front of her. Hobie recognized them and walked towards him. Ryan then looked at him, smiling and said, Hobie, you came. See, you came to meet you. Hobie didn't look at them and said to Ryan, You should haven't let them in, Ryan. Didn't I tell you to stay away from people like this? He said coldly. Then the lady who was sitting there said, Hobie, son, I'm your mother. How can you say that? Hobie finally faced her and said, Mrs. Shin, first of all, you are not my mother. You were just my father's second wife. And please stop pretending like you love or care about me. I do care about you, son. Stop calling me son with your mouth. Tell me, how can you be so rude towards her? Listen, Minjun, I'm not in a mood to talk to you. And not to your mother. She was just my father's second wife. And after his death, she is nothing. And also, stop calling me home. You're not my brother and can never be. How can you say that, Hobie? I'm your brother. Even if not brother related, but still, why are you so harsh? I don't want to say anything about it. You two can leave. Hobie, stop behaving like this. You don't know them, Ryan. I know them very well. And please stop interfering in my life decision. I know what's your motive to approach my wife. So please, now get out of here. He said while controlling his anger. Mrs. Shin and Minjun then left from him. Hobie then sat on the couch while holding his head low in his hands, grabbing his hair in frustration. When Drew sat beside him and touched his shoulder, she came to congratulate us, Hobie, and you behave like this with them. She said slowly, but at the same time, she was worried about her husband. Hobie then looked up at Ryan with his guilty eyes. I don't want them to hurt me and my family, Ryan. Please promise me you won't ever meet them and let them in this house. I won't, she said and hugged him. Then Hobie too embraced her in his arms, snuggling in her neck. She kissed his back. Then Hobie said, You don't know them. You don't know them, Ryan. They want to snatch everything from me, like they did with my appa. They won't do anything. Just calm down. Look at me. I'm always here. Always. She broke the hug and cupped Hobie's feet, making him look at her. We are going to grow our family together. And this little dream is the symbol of our happiness. It will always be the reason for us to grow and love. Thank you for being here with me. Ryan chuckled and kissed on Hobie's forehead, then on his chin. She looked in his eyes with so much love for him and leaned to kiss him. They shared a passionate and loving kiss and again hugged each other, soaking the warmth in each other's embrace. After some time, Hobie said, We need to go to hospital for your checkup. Oh yes, I totally forgot. Let's go. They were about to go, then the doorbell rang. Both looked at each other and opened the door. They both smiled looking at the person in front of them. Ryan didn't waste any second and hugged the person. Won't you let me in? Yes, Appa. I was just missing you. I just met you some days ago. Still, you were about to go somewhere? He said while sitting on the couch when Ryan also sat beside him. We were just about to go to hospital for Ryan's monthly checkup. Then I came at the wrong time. Anya Junior, we can go there tomorrow. It's okay. I can come later. Papa, please stay. We'll go for checkup tomorrow. You don't even get much time to visit us. How's going everything, young? All good. What about you? It's really good, huh? We are just busy for 2 more restaurants opening. Good. Is it a new branch of your restaurant? In last 1 year, we have opened 3 new branches and now we're about to open 2 more. That's really great. So, will you come in our new branch for their opening? Of course I will. I want to show my handsome face to everyone there, of course. Customers will be more attractive then. They all laughed and Hobie asked, Did you meet Yoongi? Not yet, I'll meet him soon. He's better now, right? Better than before or can say happy too? Because of his personal doctor? Huh? How do you know? Of course I know. I have something to show you. What is it, Rupa? Related to your brother Yoongi. What about him? Something I'll show you all soon. When? Maybe in the party over first project with Anti Entertainment. I'll invite him there. Well, when your first project with Anti Entertainment will be published, straight after 2 days. I wish you the best of luck here. Hope it will break internet. Of course it will. After all, they are featuring worldwide handsome Jin. I heard Kim is a little arrogant. Is it true, John? Not at all. He just becomes a curious tiger sometimes. But actually, he's like a bear, soft and adorable. Wow, you are praising other man than me. I didn't say he's more handsome than me. Vine and Hobie laughed at his statement. And what about the chairman? Trying on internet. He is actually good looking. What do you say, Pushpa? Jin's smile dropped hearing about him and he said, I don't know. Hobie and Vine both noticed the sadness on his face. And they both changed the topic and started talking about random things.